Good evening. I would like to call our Gladstone Planning Commission meeting on Tuesday, July 16th to order. Could you do a roll call, please, Tammy?
Commissioner Volbada,
Yes.
Commissioner Weiss,
Present.
Commissioner Langston,
Present.
Commissioner Levante,
Present.
Commissioner Pat Smith,
Present.
Commissioner Mercero,
Present.
Chair Smith.
Present. Let's do the flag salute, please. Ready, begin. I
pledge allegiance to the flag
Flag.
of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one
under
nation,
God, indivisible.
with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Would anyone like to make a motion about approving the meeting minutes?
Do we want to go over the agenda first?
Okay.
Say what's on the agenda.
Our regular agenda this evening is item number 2, our monthly planning report for April, May, and June of 2024. Item number 3 is a public hearing, DR-24-03, installation of a canopy structure over an outdoor employee use area at Gladstone Public Works, 18595 Portland Avenue, City of Gladstone owner. Item number 4, public hearing, DR-24-04, fill in large hole as a result of previously exited structure burning down. Existing hole is 75 feet long, 25 feet wide, and 4 feet deep, and requires 7,500 cubic feet of compacted fill. No other development is proposed at this time. And this address is 220 Portland Avenue, Alan Sanchez, owner, Kelly Grover, consultant. And if there's any business from the public, and then the Planning Commission as well. So would anyone like to make a motion to approve our April 16th meeting minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as they are.
No second. Okay, Commissioner Langston and made a motion to approve the minutes, and Commissioner Volbada seconded it. Roll call vote, please, Tammy.
Commissioner Mercero,
Yes.
Commissioner Pat Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Levante,
Yes.
Commissioner Langston,
Yes.
Commissioner Weiss,
Yes.
Commissioner Volbada,
Yes.
Chair Smith.
Yes. Meeting minutes approved. Item number 2, monthly planning report. Staff?
Thank you, Chair Smith. There are 3 months in there because we haven't been able to meet as a planning commission. We haven't had any business to address until this evening. So of course, if there are any questions, I'm happy to answer those. It's been relatively quiet on the application side of things. We did have 1 pre-application submitted. There've been quite a few building permits and lots of customer service calls. And then just looking forward, we are going to be having planning commission for the next few months for sure, because in August, we're bringing forward some rezoning applications for city-owned properties. There's a small parcel at the entrance of Meldrum Bar Park that needs to be zoned open space. All of Gladstone Nature Park is currently zone C2, and we're looking to change that to open space, as well as the Olson Wetlands parcels. So looking to just get some of those city-owned properties into that open space zoning, as well as the city, urban renewal district is being proposed for expansion to include properties along Portland Avenue. So those 2 items will be before you in August, and then in September, we'll have the climate-friendly and equitable communities parking code chapters for you as well. So it's going to be a busy late summer, early fall. And then, of course, if a development application comes in, we'll be looking at that as well. So we're still moving forward. The town center is also still in the works. We're looking forward to an August 15th community meeting for that. So that's going to be at the community center in the evening. I believe it's at 5:30 in the evening. There'll be a lot of public information being posted about that. A media release was due to the city, is due on Thursday. So I think that's going out in all of the normal ways here pretty soon. Are there any questions about what's going on in planning?
Nope, it's cool to see all the middle housing
Yeah.
things popping up.
Yeah, actually, City Administrator Betts and Mayor Milch and I met with the DLCD director today and our regional representative to just talk about Gladstone and what's going on here and how we are different from other cities in the metro area, what similarities we have, but what special planning needs we have. And our middle housing conversions of existing home sites are pretty unique because of our limited amount of land to build new housing on. So we had a nice conversation with them and looking forward to continuing those conversations as we talk about new projects and funding and other opportunities from the state.
For sure.
Do you feel that they really have a grasp on what our situation is in the sense that we don't have any way to build out? We're just going to have to improve what we currently have?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay,
that
good.
that
So
was
they're-
definitely a big topic. So there's going to be some housing strategy information coming out at the state level, and it's going to allocate housing units to all the different Oregon communities. Metro is a little different how they do that, but Gladstone, will be looking to make sure that the information that's coming from the state matches with what our actual on the ground situations are.
That's good to hear, because I was afraid that they weren't well aware of what our situation is.
Yeah, I
And
think
would
these
have expectations that weren't going to be realistic.
Yeah, and these meetings are really helpful for that, talking to the people who are making the decisions and who are putting the policy forward and making sure Gladstone's voice is heard.
Excellent, thank you.
Mhm.
So there's no questions of staff? Okay, moving on to item number 3, public hearing. I'd like to open the public hearing for DR-24-03 for the development of a 200 square foot canopy structure on Portland Avenue at 18595. Let me go down through my list here. Does any commission member wish to disqualify themselves or herself for any personal or financial interest in the matter tonight? Or is there any ex parte? Let's start with Jennifer.
No ex parte. Yes, I'll be participating.
Okay, did you visit the site as well?
Sure did.
Okay. Commissioner Weiss?
No ex parte contact. I do plan on participating tonight, and I have been by the site a few times.
Excellent. Commissioner Langston?
Yep, I have no ex parte contact, and I will participate, and I have not been by the site.
Okay. Commissioner Mercero?
No ex parte contact. And I've been there a few times since I live close.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Smith?
My visit has been a drive-by. I have no ex parte, and I do plan on participating tonight.
Andrew Labonte, no ex parte. Yes, I plan on participating, and I'm familiar with the site. I haven't really been in there, but
Okay. And this is Commissioner Natalie Smith. No ex parte. I have been by the site and I will be participating in the meeting. Does any member of the audience wish to challenge the right on any commission member to hear this matter? He's laughing. Is there any member of the audience who wishes to question the jurisdiction of this body to act on behalf of the city council on this matter? Oregon land use laws require that all issues be raised. If the issues are to be appealed, failure to raise the issues at this hearing may invalidate their further appeal to the Land Use Board of Appeals, LUBA. Any party has the right to request a continuance to this hearing, or in the alternative, to have the record left open for 7 days. Failure to raise constitutional or other issues relating to proposed conditions of approval with sufficient specificity to allow the commission to respond to the issues will preclude an action for damages in circuit court. If you are going to testify, please try to address the applicable criteria. Will the staff please present the report?
Yes, thank you. We have a very short PowerPoint. I shortened it even more than normal because it is such a small proposal. But just to make sure that we cover all the bases. There it is. All right, thanks, Tammy. So here is the Public Works facility, the new and improved Public Works facility. This is going to be a design review application. The address is 18595 Portland Avenue. This angle doesn't show the side of the building where the canopy is proposed, but it's out the other end where the employee break area opens into the side yard. So here is the original site plan that we looked at to do the expansion report. That little box, gray box down at the bottom right is where the generator is going to be actually a replacement generator, I just learned. So the canopy will be, I don't know if it's been finalized, which of the two proposed options are there, so we can ask the applicant tonight to share that with us, but I went ahead and drew both of them on just so you could see. The first aligns with the property line that separates the Public Works building from the Civic Center, and the other is more in alignment with the building. So either way, they're both 200 square feet. They both fit within the yard. There's no required setbacks on this site as it's not adjoining any residential properties. So it meets within all of the dimensional characteristics for this industrial zoning site. Just the project property basics. It's light industrial. It's just about 2 acres in size. There's no environmental overlays. We went ahead and sent all of the appropriate notices, and in the staff report, we did quote the city's Public Works Department and Oak Lodge, who provided some comments back that were very minimal, just basically no real issues here with the proposal. This is the drawing that was submitted for the elevation. I believe it's a prefab structure, so it's 20 feet by 10 feet, 9 feet tall. Pretty basic, just covering a table area so the employees of the Public Works Department have a space that's protected from rain and sun when they're outside of their break area. So with that, I did want to make a note about applicability on both of the design review applications tonight because it is such a small project. I really did look to see, is there a way we don't have to go through land use for both of these projects? But the code is pretty clear that if you have a new structure that doesn't qualify as one of the listed exemptions, which are like single family detached or middle housing types, that type of thing, that we do require design review, and we don't have a lesser level of design review like some cities do, where like there'd be a staff level review or something like that. So we are here before you this evening for that reason. But we do recommend that this application be approved and that the standard conditions of approval be applied. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions. And Brandon Dole is here to represent the city in this application.
Commissioner Volbada, do you have any questions?
I do not have any questions.
Commissioner Weiss?
No questions here.
Commissioner Langston?
No, I like the orientation lined up with the building, but no questions.
Commissioner Mercero, do you have any questions?
No questions.
Commissioner Smith?
Actually, I do, and I'm seeking information, not expressing concerns. Is this beyond the original plan? Or is this a continuation of the original plan for the property and building?
That's a great question. So that I reviewed all of the original submitted plans, hoping there was something that indicated an outdoor space of some sort so that we could say that this was just part of what was originally approved, but there unfortunately wasn't because it wasn't programmed in at that time. So that's why the new design review application. Yeah.
And for employee use, it'll be used as a break area when they choose. This shows a nice roof and everything, but is there any sides or is it wide open? Wide open.
Mhm.
Thank you.
It would resemble very much what you have here in the police. yard.
Next door, right here.
It would just like that.
Thank you.
Commissioner Levante?
No questions.
I do have a question. Is there a designated area for them to smoke, or will they be using this canopy?
My understanding.
You should come up and speak, please.
Sorry.
Sorry. Okay,
Brandon Dole, Associate Principal, Scott Edwards Architecture. So the question was regarding smoking. My understanding, and this would need to be confirmed with city staff, particularly Public Works Director Darren.
Darren Canapino.
I always butcher his last name, so back me up on that. But I believe the whole facility is non-smoking. So if staff have to smoke, they go off premise.
Okay,
Yep.
Yes, that is
Excellent.
correct.
okay. Well, does anybody else have any other questions? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
So moved. Move
Okay.
to close the public hearing first.
Yeah, we do have to do that, excuse me. Sorry.
I was
hold
going
on.
to add one thing.
Please.
Commissioner Langston had a preference. Heather, in the application, there was 2 site plans. The one site plan that had the line through it is not the one that city staff was preferring. And I just don't recall off the top of my head which one that was.
I didn't unfortunately put all of the site plans in here, but is it related to the alignment or?
Yeah, I
related
was
to-
just
oh,
gonna
okay.
relay back which one I think staff was
Oh.
preferring.
Yeah,
But no worries.
but it's in the packet, which I have open. So let me just open that page and then would you know if you saw it, which alignment it is?
Oh, yes. Yeah,
Okay.
it has a slight green line through it.
Okay. Sorry, I have like a really bad glare too. Yeah, so here's the packet.
Go to the site. There was a site plan.
I think it was stored. Oh, nope, that's public comment. There it is. Oh, yes. Okay, I see. Oh, yes. It is the straight one.
Yeah.
It is. Yep.
So parallel with the
Straight
building.
with the building.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me, not the
Not
blue
that.
one, it's the pink one.
Yes. There you go.
Just out of curiosity, was that, I assume that it was, hey, we're gonna make it parallel with the building or with the fence line?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Each location met setback criteria and then also the clearance off of the generator. So just a preference. Yes, sir.
Is there anything else you'd like to add to the staff report?
No, thank you. That's
Oh, thank you very much. Okay. And does any commissioners have any other questions? Okay. Now is the time for public testimony. Do we have any?
I have not received any requests.
Okay. And what about for applicant rebuttals?
No requests.
Okay. So if there's no further testimony, I will entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Okay, the motion was made by Commissioner Volbada to close the meeting and was seconded by Commissioner Pat Smith. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Volbada,
Yes.
Commissioner Weiss,
Yes.
Commissioner Langston,
Yes.
Commissioner Labonte,
Yes.
Commissioner Pat Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Mercero,
Yes,
Chair Smith.
Yes, public hearing is closed. So now, if there is any discussion, questions, ready to move forward?
Mhm.
Let's go ahead.
I do have another question. Again, information, not concern. Is the use of the generator tied to this building or is it being used for something else?
tied to the Civic Center building?
No, I mean, is it tied to the use of this new building that we're looking?
Yes, sir. Yeah, the renovated building will be fully powered, by that generator in terms of an emergency, so it provides redundancy. It was upsized from the original one to improve capacity.
I don't think I made my question clear. I'm sorry. Is it tied directly to this break area that's being built?
No, sir.
No, it's
No.
separate. Okay.
Yeah, there is no power or lighting or anything associated with the
Neither.
camp, just a structure. Yes,
Thank
sir. Mhm.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve with standard conditions, application DR 2403.
A second.
Commissioner Langston made the motion to approve, and it was seconded by Commissioner Volbada. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Mercero,
yes,
Commissioner Pat Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Labonte,
Yes.
Commissioner Langston,
Yes.
Commissioner Weiss,
Yes.
Commissioner Volbada,
Yes.
Chair Smith.
Yes. And approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next item on our agenda is item number 4. Public hearing DR 24 04 to fill in a large hole. Staff, are you ready?
Excuse me. We were just
Funny.
discussing whether the building permit is still in the queue. It's not showing up in my Clackamas County queue, so we were just coordinating how to sign that off so they can build
Okay.
it and have it available for these hot days for our staff. Yes, thank you. So on to the next design review application.
Yeah, the public hearing for DR 24 04. I can go ahead and read through and ask if there's any ex parte, and if they'll be planning, if everyone is going to be joining us this evening with, let's start with you.
No ex parte. I will be participating and I am very familiar with the site.
Okay, Commissioner Weiss.
No ex parte contact and no concerns discussing.
Okay,
Commissioner Langston, no ex parte contact, and I'll be participating, and I just drive by the site.
Commissioner Smith.
No ex parte contact, and I have driven by it literally hundreds, if not more times,
Okay,
and will be participating tonight.
Labonte, no ex parte contact, and very familiar with the site, and I will be participating.
Commissioner Mercero.
No ex parte contact and will be participating.
Okay, and that goes for myself, no ex parte. I have visited the site and I plan on participating this evening. Is there any member of the audience who wishes to challenge the right of any commission member to hear this matter? Is there any member of the audience who wishes to question the jurisdiction of this body to act on behalf of the city council on this matter? Oregon land use laws require that all issues be raised if the issues are to be appealed. Failure to raise the issues at this hearing may invalidate their further appeal to the Land Use Board of Appeals, LUBA. Any party has the right to request a continuance to this hearing, or in the alternative, to have the record left open for 7 days. Failure to raise constitutional or other issues relating to proposed conditions of approval with sufficient specificity to allow the commission to respond to the issue will preclude an action for damages in circuit court. If you're going to testify, please try to address the applicable criteria. Will the staff please present the report?
Yes, thank you, Chair Smith. So this application is also a design review project at 220 Portland Avenue. The proposal is, let me turn it off and back on. Let's see. Might have to ask Tammy to advance us. Yep, Tammy, if you wouldn't mind, there's only a couple slides. The proposal is to fill in with structural fill material a hole that is on the site that has existed for quite some time. The applicant, the owner is Alan Sanchez. He's represented by Furwood Design Group, who I believe Kelly Grover is on the call this evening. The design review approval would allow the building permit to be issued for the grading permit required to do this work. And then once the hole is filled with the engineered material, then in the future, an application would come before you before something is proposed to be built on the site, because we would require another design review application for that to happen. Next slide, please. So the zoning here is the C2 community commercial, and it's on the corner, the southern corner of our downtown overlay district. So exciting to see what might come there in the future. It's about 0.23 acres in size, not subject to any environmental overlays. We did send out the public notice and the agency notice. No public responses were received, and we received just minimal responses from Gladstone Public Works, who did request one condition regarding sanitary lateral, and then Gladstone Fire and Police Department saying no comment, nothing needed for this site to be filled in. Next, please. So again, the applicability on this one, this was another one where it seemed like there should have been some lesser way to approve filling in the hole. But the code, again, was really clear that when a grading permit is required under the Clackamas County Excavation and Grading Code, which it is for this project, then design review is required. So here we are doing that, checking that box. So we do recommend approval of this design review application with the standard conditions and the one special condition of approval, which is to identify if there is in fact a sanitary lateral, and if in fact there is, then to cap it to Public Works standards. And I'm happy to take any questions, answer any questions, and the applicant's representative is on the Zoom call.
I just had a clarification. It looked like on the map, the property boundary that you were showing, it looked like was incorporating what I thought was like 140 Arlington. But yeah, that maybe I could be wrong. I might be thinking, I thought this was a different, where the 25 feet is, I thought that was a different property line, but maybe I'm wrong. Is that where
I believe it does extend to that
Building that used to be there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
But
was a
I'm gonna
smoke shop
pull up-
or something like that for a
I'll
little store.
pull up the GIS though really quickly just to verify while we're
Oh, okay.
talking.
Closed for years.
I'm sorry, what?
It was, I think that building you're referring to was basically abandoned. It had a lot of,
Well, there was a fire and then
and
they,
they just walked off from it.
I might be, my geographic memory
There's a
might be
house
off.
next to it, I know,
Yeah.
and then there was a.
no, there's a
like
house right here.
Arlington Mart.
Okay, yeah. I don't know.
I think the building that you guys are referring to, the Barrington Market,
Yeah,
that would have been that number 13.
Okay.
Right next to the Masala box.
okay, yeah,
That 25 foot is not the building that
Oh.
burned down.
okay. Well,
Okay.
Good to know.
no, it's not a big deal. I was just, in my mind, I remember it different.
Jennifer, do you have any questions?
Just the one, regarding the remediation. If there's any requirements for remediation of the current site, considering the original building burned down, or if perhaps the remediation was done many years ago.
You're referring to soil remediation? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and so the building department will review that with a grading permit that comes through. We don't have a land use component for that, but the county's building department will review that. And they'll be subject to the county's building permit standards. They come through.
And then I had another question, but this side actually answered it. Just if there were requirements on the type of fill coming in, but seeing that it's documented 3/4 minus, that's standard. So no other questions. Thank you.
Commissioner Weiss,
No questions for me.
Commissioner Langston.
Yep, and so they're prepping the site for structure, correct? And then it'll be probing and compaction.
Yes, so I don't think there's any plan at the current time, which we talked with the applicant and suggested if there was a plan that we should approve it all together, but there's not. So I think it's a phased
Okay,
proposal here. I did just verify that the property is 100 by 100. So
okay.
the 75 and the
Yeah,
then there's
makes-
another
makes it
25. It's
100.
all one property. Yeah. So yes, they'll be then coming in for design review of some sort to put something on the property. And then at that point, they'll get another building permit and have to do that same
Okay.
process. Yeah.
Okay. Commissioner Mercero, do you have any questions?
No questions.
Thank you. Commissioner Smith.
Yeah, could you define a sanitary lateral for me? What is
Yes.
that?
So it would have been the sanitary sewer line
Sewer
that
line.
runs from the building to the street.
Okay.
And so Public Works had unclear documentation of whether that was ever addressed. That would have been to the old building. So they just want the applicant to do an inspection and see if it's still there. And if it's still there, it might be that it was capped appropriately and it might be that it's not. So before they start filling, they'd like them to cap it.
Thank you.
Commissioner Labonte.
No questions.
I don't think I have any either, other than, yes, I hope the county or whomever does make a determination, because there has been a lot of things said about that property and how the soil was contaminated. So I'm just saying that to have it on public record. So do we have any, is the applicant present and would he like to speak or she?
The applicant is on. Kelly, if you'd like to unmute yourself, you are welcome to do so.
Good evening, Planning Commissioner Chair and fellow commissioners. My name is Kelly Grover. I'm with Forward Design Group. I'm representing the applicant this evening. I don't have anything, doesn't sound like there's any questions for me to address, but I just would like to concur that there are no plans for building right now. It's mostly just getting rid of the eyesore that's there and filling it in and making it a safer spot. That's all I
Okay.
have. For
Do any commissioners have any questions of the applicant? No, it appears there's none. Well, thank you very much, Ms. Grover.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, now is the time for public testimony. Do we have anyone that would like to testify?
Received none.
Received none. Okay. I still need to read on and say about, it's time for the applicant rebuttal, which I don't think we're going to have any. So if there's no further testimony, I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing unless anybody else has anything.
I'll motion to close the hearing.
I'll second.
Okay, Commissioner Weiss made the motion to close the public hearing and it was seconded by Commissioner Langston. Roll call vote, please. Tammy.
Commissioner Volbada,
Yes.
Commissioner Weiss.
Yes.
Commissioner Langston,
Yes.
Commissioner Labonte,
Yes.
Commissioner Pat Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Mercero,
Yes,
Chair Smith.
Yes, public hearing is closed. Discussion, questions?
Pretty straightforward, yep.
Yep.
So I'll make a motion to approve with standard conditions and the one special conditions for the sanitary lateral line of application DR 2404.
I will second that.
The motion was made by Commissioner Langston and was seconded by Commissioner Volbada. Roll call vote, please, Tammy.
Commissioner Mercero,
yes,
Commissioner Pat Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Labonte.
Yes.
Commissioner Langston,
Yes.
Commissioner Weiss.
Yes.
Commissioner Volbada,
Yes.
Chair Smith.
Yes. It has been approved. Okay, moving on. Any business from the public?
I have received none.
Okay. How about business from the Planning Commission? And I'd like to start with Commissioner Smith,
I have none tonight. Thank you.
Commissioner Labonte.
I guess just one thing regarding the downtown. Now, Heather, if you're gonna help me, the official term for the group that's meeting for the downtown core
Gladstone
project-
Town Center.
Thank you, Gladstone Town Center project, because these downtown, town center overlays, it gets a little confusing. And being at the last meeting, my perspective from the last meeting regarding this project, I think there was some concern that I assume will likely make it our way. And maybe this would be an opportunity to clear some things up, but there seems to be some concern that in allowing that basically within the area that we designate, that there would be a potential for apartment buildings to go up, like large apartment buildings. That seems to be one of the issues that people have with the overlay. And also people seem to be a bit concerned about like displacement strategies and things along those lines. And what this, I guess, overlay will, really do to our city. So I'm not sure. It does seem a little confusing. And I think that kind of came up in our last meeting. So I think there's overall some concern about the project. And I'd say in my analysis, it would be mostly to do with allowing large apartments in to an area of which we've already tried to zone to not have that. And also the idea of displacing folks in our community. So I just figure I'd like to say that from what occurred in that meeting about, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. Otherwise, I've got no business. Thank you.
Commissioner Mercero, do you have anything you'd like to share?
nothing more than, it's been a while since I've been there.
Commissioner Langston, do you have anything to share?
Nope, I have nothing. It's a good one to get our back in motion. Sounds like we got a busy fall coming up, so looking forward to it. Thanks.
Commissioner Weiss.
In the spirit of transparency, I think we've all been pretty open with each other. I made a job change recently, so I'm now working for Portland General Electric. I left Comcast. Thank you.
What,
That's it.
in what capacity?
very similar work to what I was doing before in customer experience process improvement.
Okay, congratulations.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Commissioner Volbada.
No new news from me.
Okay. I really don't have any either, other than I think our code enforcement is doing an outstanding job. And I'm so thankful that we have her. I look around areas within the city that I always thought were not eyesores, but they weren't up to code. And I just see how things are getting done, and it's a good feeling. So on that note, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second.
The motion was made by Commissioner Volbada and seconded by Commissioner Langston. Roll call vote, please, Tammy.
Commissioner Mercero,
Yes.
Commissioner Pat Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Labonte,
Yes.
Commissioner Langston,
Yes.
Commissioner Weiss,
Yes.
Commissioner Volbada,
Yes.
Chair Smith.
Yes, meeting is adjourned at 7:05 PM.